Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Injustice 2. We are going to be going back into the lab in this episode. However, things are going to be a little bit different than when I went into the lab with like Darkseid and everything, because I already know some things about this character. So things are going to be, I guess, a little bit easier. And as you can see, that character is Supergirl, who I picked up probably like on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I've been having a lot of fun with her. Supergirl is an interesting character. She was pretty much all you saw the first, I guess, like week and a half of the game. Mainly because of this move. This move I would call the noob killer, because if you don't know how to block correctly, this can be really frustrating. And you know, if you use it correctly, it can catch good players off guard as well, but that's not all you have to do with Supergirl. She's actually, I wouldn't say she's very good. I don't think she's the strongest character, mainly because, I mean, just look at her strings. This is -1, but it has terrible startup, -35. She just doesn't have good strings. And the problem is, even that move is unsafe. It's actually -20, so super unsafe, unless you meter burn it. So, in terms of applying pressure, she doesn't really have too much because she doesn't really have good plus frames. This move is completely useless. At least I have not found a use for it. Even EX, like what the hell are you supposed to use this for? It's not even a good combo starter. This move is a decent wake up, except it only moves up, so the range is very bad. It's really easy to kind of out footsie her. You know, if you have a character, you knock her down and you just kind of float out of her range, she does this and you can totally punish her. However, as a character, she's extremely fun. I think she's one of the most fun characters because unlike Superman, she's not an asshole. It's one thing, like, I'm not against playing Superman. I would probably play Superman if he wasn't such a dick in this game. So it's good because Supergirl kind of compensates for it. However, in this episode, we're gonna, like I said, go into the lab because up until now, I've been playing her kind of just like normally, you know. This is one of her BMBs. Oops, that's not what you do. This is one of her BMBs. She doesn't do a lot of damage, although, fuck, I didn't turn off. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna just go back for a second and turn on competitive mode just so we can get a balanced view of this. Sorry if this is not the most professional thing. Let's see. Yeah, competitive mode. Alright, let's just jump in here. But even then she doesn't do a whole lot of damage. This is not that type of character. She is very good at zoning, to be honest with you, but her zoning is kind of unique. But yeah, this is one of her BMBs. As you can see, that is pretty terrible damage for 1 bar. And she really doesn't get much more than this. Probably her most damaging combo is off of this. Yeah, the really popular move that everyone was using week 1. I mean, this move, again, if you use it correctly, you can still get people with it. But yeah, she is focused on zoning because these lasers are decent, except they are on kind of a recharge timer, almost like Ibuki from Street Fighter V. However, what I wanted to look at today, this I saw online and I did not actually know that Supergirl had this, is this string, the 212. The reason this string is interesting is because it is a restand. Let me just go into a little bit of explanation as to what a restand is. A restand is any move that leaves your opponent standing when you hit them. So it's not a knockdown, this is a knockdown. It leaves them standing. And if you don't know, if you haven't played an NRS game before, the advantages of restanding are huge because, first of all, a restanded opponent cannot wake up. And people in this game love to wake up. Also, this string puts a huge amount of advantage to Supergirl's side. So basically, unless your opponent backdashes or push blocks. They can also, I guess, clash if they're on the second bar. Unless they do one of those things, they pretty much have to guess. And of course, Supergirl does have a low. She has this. This is a low string. This is not a reactable string, I would say. And of course, she has her overhead, which can also be meter burned. And you can put the opponent back in the same situation. And this is what I kind of wanted to practice because... Oh shit, did not mean to do that. Because I feel like with this, you can kind of compensate for the fact that she doesn't do a lot of damage. Because restanding is really, really good because... Let me just show you. Is that gonna push? Yeah, that's gonna push. Alright, whatever. You know what? We're just gonna do this. And you can also go into grab. So your opponent pretty much has to guess between low, overhead, or throw. This is the technique I wanted to practice. Again, I saw this. Of course, I did not come up with this. However, it seems really good. And then, yeah, restand. Oops. Yeah, this does have a weird timing. This is why I need to practice. And then throw. I think this is what you're supposed to do with her. Instead of going straight for damage. Because, as you can see, she kind of has garbage damage. Oh, by the way, also, her sweep is completely busted. This is an absolutely busted sweep. I mean, look at it. It's fucking -6. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm like 90% sure this is the only safe sweep in the entire game. But of course, the problem with what I'm doing here, this restanding thing, is that it is incredibly meter intensive. Like, as you can see, that's 214 damage. And yeah, you do get the restand, but I just burned 2 bars. And you know, of course, if your opponent guesses correctly, it's not gonna work. But, you know, it's kind of how you can zone people out and occasionally throw one of these in. The best use I found for this move actually is if your opponent is trying to advance in and they're not being patient. That's one thing, it's really difficult to advance in on Supergirl. And even characters that are normally really good counter zoners like Aquaman right here kinda has trouble because... Let me record Aquaman. Oops, that's not it. How do you do his fucking... That's it. Oops, I should set him to block after that. Okay. Alright, we're gonna record. Alright. Oops. I always forget that this is a mid. Huh, weird. I guess that's not a thing. And if you do the overhead, well, the overhead would work. But maybe I'm using a bad example with Aquaman. Okay, never mind. But yeah, if your opponent is, for example, let me just say this. On Atrocitus, I know that it works because I've done it. Maybe Aquaman is a bad example. She also has this. This is kind of a weird 4-3. It is a cross-up, so you do have that going for you. In the corner, it's pretty good because cross-ups are always good. And then, of course, you can go into your restand. At least, I think this is what you're supposed to do with her. In the corner, this can be pretty deadly because not only do you have this as an overhead, you have this as well. And then, think you can do. I saw 1-1. I'm pretty sure you can do this. You can do the freeze into this 1-1, 2-1-2, and then just loop this. And if you have meter and your opponent does not respect this, of course in the corner it's even more difficult because the normal option against these type of restand tactics is to backdash. However, in the corner you cannot backdash because the corner is there. The only other character that kind of has this type of gameplay is Gorilla Grodd. Exact same deal. If you've seen people play Gorilla Grodd, it's the same thing. I think it's his back one or something that restands the same way. And that's pretty much the same thing. You go into your mix-ups and you just keep looping your opponent if you have bar. I don't know which character does more damage. I'm pretty sure Gorilla Grodd does more damage, but of course he doesn't have zoning. With the zoning, and this move again, it's absolutely death if it's blocked, but if it works, it sure does work well. She also has this is a good move. Did not even know until like a few matches ago that this doesn't actually take meter if you have full bar. Just because it was meter burned, I always thought it took a bar of meter as well, but it doesn't. Anyways, yeah, restand. And again, like, the problem with all of this, the problem with Supergirl in general, is that this is all unsafe. This is unsafe, unsafe. Again, this is the only thing that's safe, but it's 18 frames of startup. Like, it's pretty damn slow. And then unsafe, 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 unsafe. This is only if you meter burn it is it safe, but still not advantage or something. So yeah, she is incredibly unsafe. That's the thing that I think that made a lot of people stop playing her, because I barely see her anymore. Now that I think a lot of people have figured out how to block this move, you know. Oh yeah, her uppercut is pretty okay. This is an okay uppercut. Good anti-air. She also has an anti-air laser. And this is a decent anti-air too. Still haven't figured out what the purpose of meter burning this is. You can dash forward. Maybe... I guess you can, if your opponent blocks this, you can burn a meter to get out. But still, you know, they can... A lot of characters like Aquaman for sure would be able to anti-air me there. Since I'm here... might as well go and touch a little bit on how to fight Supergirl. This is just something I've noticed playing against other Supergirls online. One thing I would recommend is do not pick a zoning character, because she actually shuts down zoning really well with this. The air laser. It travels fairly far, and you know, she also has this, which if you're one of the slower zoners, you will be caught by this. However, one thing I've noticed about every single Supergirl online is this is what they do. They start out with the lasers, they shoot all this shit, and as soon as they run out, I swear, every single one of them, you can guarantee that as soon as they run out of the laser, they fucking teleport. Again, if you're fighting a Supergirl, watch their pattern, because every single Supergirl I fight online has done this. They do the lasers, they shoot, and then as soon as they run out, teleport. And that's really all you gotta wait for, because a lot of Supergirls online will eventually teleport. They will just do it, and if you're ready for it, you can block it, and again, if she does that, it's absolute death. And if she does the overhead one, she even burnt a bar, so she's at even more of a disadvantage. So the best thing I would say, again, is take the approach you would take for Ibuki in Street Fighter V, because if you don't know, the way to fight Ibuki in Street Fighter V is to make her waste her kunai. Almost like Demo Sonya as well in MKX. You know, the best way to fight her is make her waste her resources, which was the grenades. Here, just make her waste the laser, because to be honest with you, let's just go into block mode always. As you can see, the lasers do not do a whole lot of chip. In fact, I think the lasers are actually pretty... except for the straight one. Well, actually, they're pretty safe. Except for the air ones. So, yeah, they're pretty safe, but they do not do a lot of chip. And what you gotta think about is that Supergirl really doesn't do too much damage. And again, that's one of her problems. Any character that doesn't do a lot of damage... The problem is that people don't fear these type of characters. And I've seen the same thing with Supergirl. I mean, Batman can fucking meterlessly combo me for like 350 to 400 damage. And that's something you have to fear. Same with Aquaman, except he has to spend bar. But Supergirl, like, at most, she's gonna waste the bar and do 327 damage. But besides, I know I'm talking kind of shit on her, but I really do like this character. She's super fun online. Finally, a Kryptonian in Injustice that I actually want to play. You can still make her work. I don't think she's like at the very bottom in terms of like tiers. She's not awful, but I don't think she's very good either. She also doesn't have a decent mid. Like, this is an okay mid, but it's like, what's the mid itself? It's the frame data on this. It's -9, and the string off of it is -11, and the third string is -9 too. And really the only option of making this safe is cancelling into the laser. But see, the thing is, like, this is all unsafe, while other characters have the same type of good mid combos that are safe. And it's really the unsafeness that makes her, I would say, not too good. Again, don't get me wrong, she's not awful. In fact, I would think every character in this game is workable. And yeah, I think the restand option is definitely what you want with her. Even though, god, this does bad damage. I'll have to check out Grodd, because I don't know anything about Grodd to see how much damage he deals. But yeah, I'll try this new tactic out, going for this instead of just the straight up damage combos. And eventually, again, as I promised many times, I will start posting actual online gameplay. Kind of want to test this out, how good this is. And again, if you want to fight a Supergirl, make her waste this, because as soon as they do, that teleport is guaranteed. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this little lab video for Supergirl. I guess I will call this an advanced lab session, because I'm kind of, I don't know, trying to figure out some different tactics for her. She is really fun. No matter what place she holds on the tier list, I think she's really fun. Awesome character. Want to thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this Injustice 2 video. There's going to be more stuff. I'm going to be posting some Tekken stuff as well. For now, I'll wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.